The Christmas sun poured across the busy city streets like melted gold as Sienna Marlowe walked toward the cafe, trying to hold together the fragile pieces of her heart. She had told herself this blind date might finally be her chance to start over, a spark of hope after months of disappointment. But the moment she stepped inside, she saw the man glance at her, hesitate, and mutter something under his breath before turning away. He left without sitting down, without a greeting, without giving her a chance. The sting of rejection clung to her like cold air, piercing and unforgiving. Her fingers trembled as she wrapped her coat tighter, trying to swallow the humiliation rising inside her chest. If you believe in kindness, in second chances, and in the unseen miracles life sometimes sends us, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Wave of Kindness. Your support keeps these heartfelt stories alive. Sienna exited the cafe, the warmth behind her replaced by the crisp winter air that always felt harsher when you were hurting. She breathed out slowly, watching her breath turn into pale clouds that drifted upward and vanished, just like her hopes for today. She had been trying for months to rebuild after losing her long-term partner, her job, and her sense of direction. Every step she took toward healing felt like sinking deeper into loneliness. Today was supposed to be different. But life had a way of repeating its lessons until you learned something you didn't even know you needed. She wandered toward the riverside park, its pathways lined with garlands, wreaths, and shimmering red ribbons that fluttered in the soft winter breeze. Daylight made everything look beautiful, but even beauty could feel distant to someone whose heart was tired. She sat on a bench by the water, listening to the quiet ripples and the distant laughter of families taking Christmas photos. Watching parents lift their children into their arms, watching couples share warm drinks, watching strangers create memories she wished she had, it cut deeper than she cared to admit. She lowered her gaze, blinking rapidly to keep tears from forming. But before one could escape, she noticed two small shadows fall across her lap. Sienna looked up to find twin girls standing before her, both around 5, dressed in matching red velvet dresses with tiny white collars, their blonde curls glowing softly in the daylight. One held a small teddy bear by its arm, the other clasped a glittery Christmas card. Their eyes sparkled like they held secrets the world couldn't take away. The taller twin took a small step forward and held out the card. It was handmade, uneven, covered in glitter and crayon drawings of stars and hearts. Sienna accepted it gently, touched that these little strangers had approached her so confidently. On the front, written in wobbly letters, were the words, "Merry Christmas to someone who looks like they need a smile." Her throat tightened, and for the first time that day, warmth broke through her sadness. Before she could thank them, a man hurried toward the girls, clearly out of breath, worry etched across his face. He looked about Sienna's age, maybe a bit older, with kind eyes and a patient expression that hinted at a life full of responsibilities. When he reached the twins, he apologized quickly and explained that they had a habit of wandering off when they spotted someone who looked sad. Sienna offered a soft smile, assuring him it was all right. The twins, however, weren't done. They looked between Sienna and their father, sharing a silent understanding only siblings could have. Then the smaller one stepped close, her tiny voice carrying a weight far larger than her size. She asked, with a sincerity that melted Sienna's heart instantly, "Can you be our mom?" Time seemed to stop. Sienna felt everything, grief, confusion, awe, rush through her at once. Their father, Elias Rowan, knelt beside them and gently explained that they had lost their mother 2 years ago and had spent every Christmas since wishing for someone kind to enter their lives. He seemed embarrassed, yet deeply moved by their innocent request. Sienna could see the heaviness in his eyes, the quiet exhaustion of a single parent doing his best. She surprised herself when she said she wouldn't mind spending some time with them that morning. The twins lit up instantly, grabbing her hands as if she were already part of their world. Elias hesitated, but eventually agreed, sensing something unspoken but deeply natural in their connection. They spent the afternoon walking through the park, sharing stories, sipping warm cocoa from a small riverside stall, and watching the sunlight sparkle across the water like scattered diamonds. For the first time in months, Sienna felt the walls around her heart soften. Elias, too, seemed lighter when he spoke, and she sensed a shared understanding of loss and healing between them. The twins stayed close to Sienna the entire time, trusting her with the kind of innocent love that didn't need explanations. As the sun began to lower slightly in the winter sky, Sienna looked at Elias, the twins, and the peaceful scene around them. Something inside her whispered that maybe she hadn't been rejected earlier, maybe she had been redirected to the place she truly needed to be. Maybe this was the universe's quiet way of showing her that love sometimes arrived through the smallest hands and the softest voices. If this story touched your heart, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Wave of Kindness. Your support means the world and helps more people experience stories that heal and uplift. Special request, comment below which moment made you emotional. Your words inspire our next heartfelt story.